Big Hops, PlayStation 5, Switch, PC. No clue what that is. January 12th. Animal Crossing New Horizons, Switch 2. That is tomorrow. Big Hops. Everybody anticipating the release of Big Hops, I bet.
Big Hops. I'm all over that one.
1 week later.
Did you see Big Hops is actually kind of good?
I keep meaning to talk to you about that. I swear to God, my phone, heard us talking about it because I started getting all these Big Hops things. I'm like, all right, let's just see what this is all about. And I'm like,
it actually looks kind of fun. Actually looks kind of fun.
A very Mario 64 type game. Yeah, it actually looks kind of cool. And one guy, one developer.
Was it?
Developer, I think.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's one guy, and he's been working on it for 6 years.
That makes me want to buy it now, to be honest.
Yeah, he did everything. I know. I kind of thought about it too.
Is it on PS5? If it's one dev, it's hard for me to not buy it.
I know. Pretty sure it is.
It is not. It is an Xbox exclusive. No, Switch and Xbox. Maybe not even Xbox. Steam and Switch.
What?
I think so.
Is it a solo dev?
Yep. Nope, PS5 too. Steam, Switch, PS5, no Xbox.
1 week later.
We got one more game to talk about.
Yep, let's move on.
Let's go ahead and bounce over. Big Hops. I felt like I felt like I had to talk about Big Hops because we discussed this on the first episode. We went over the January releases and we had a little moment where we we were oblivious to what this game was. And,
we didn't shit on it, but we were just kind of like, big Hops. I don't know anything about it. Big Hops.
Made by I don't know if it was made by one guy. There's a lot of people in the credits. Maybe one guy with a lot of external help, but it's a 3D platformer, very Banjo-Kazooie style. You're not going into worlds like in Super Mario 64 or anything like that. It's just kind of one open biome where you're doing a bunch of different tasks, collecting what are called dark drips across the map to level up. And then you collect enough of those dark drips to unlock passives. And then these passives are little patches that you can put on the back of your backpack, which is a nice visual touch to help you kind of do some more things. But it's just one of those games. You run around, you collect stuff, and progress through the story. Essentially, the plot through line of this game is you play as Hop, a little frog. You get kidnapped by, what's his name? Dis, right?
Yes.
You get kidnapped by Dis. He takes you to the void and drops you in the desert as the first biome. And basically, Dis tells you need to collect every dark drip in the game. And then you meet a guy in the desert that is going to fix up an airship for you, and you have to collect 3 airship parts. So you can kind of take the game 2 different ways. You can collect everything for Dis and get all the dark drips, or you can kind of mainline the game and go for the airship parts and do it that way. I did not 100% this game. I know Jason has played this game as well. Did you get any farther than Biome 1?
No, I think I'm towards the end of Biome 1. Okay. But again, I'm kind of really exploring and really checking out everything, which I need to get better at.
I mean, do it however you want. Just be prepared. There's some footage in here. You're going to see this a little later on in the game. I apologize.
Oh, I don't care. Nope.
So it is a very fun platformer collectathon. I mean, it is very much of the ilk of a old school collectathon game is what it's going for here. The thing that kind of set the game apart, you do play as a frog. You are able to climb surfaces in the game. You're able to hold different fruits, and these fruits have different abilities when you throw them at walls or throw them on the ground. So you can pick up a mushroom and that becomes a little trampoline pad, and they go very deep with that mechanic later on throughout the game. You get a bunch of different fruits. But it's just a platformer. You got to figure out how to get up to certain places. And it's got a very Zelda-like stamina system when you climb, where you have a meter that is fucking short, by the way. You
very short.
You don't get to climb very much in this game at all. You do get some upgrades for that through your backpack later on, but I will say the ones that I got, it's called like Strong Grip. You can get Strong Grip and Strong Grip Plus. Didn't make much of a difference. It's still very short. But that leads me into some of the quirks of this game. This game is quirky in a lot of ways. It's you can kind of do that thing where you get on a ledge and you're climbing. You can find a little fucking lip, and if you land on it, you can just stand there and refill your stamina. So a lot of the time with the game, I was cheesing it like that, just kind of finding little spots where I could stand. And I don't know if that's intended, most likely not, but
probably not.
That's kind of how I got through a lot of these little platforming sections. But yeah, what do you have to say about Big Hops?
Well, so I was going to ask if you ever felt like you got to areas. Oh, how should I say this? You were able to access areas or reach certain areas in a way that maybe the developer didn't intend.
1000%.
Okay, so I did a lot of that, and and at first I was like, I wonder if this is really how I'm supposed to be doing this, and then I was like, who cares?
Yeah,
who cares if that's how it was intended?
Yeah.
I think it was designed that way, where
there
are more than one way to get to an area.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's many times
sometimes
where
it is quirky.
I janked my way through shit all the time.
Yep, sometimes it is janky, and sometimes you genuinely feel like, maybe I just kind of figured something out that the developer didn't intend. So
you kind of have to in this game, but
I know.
Jason and I have different opinions on this. What do you think about the game so far? You're probably about, I would say maybe 3 or 4 hours in where you're at, somewhere in that ballpark.
Probably maybe 3 at the most. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep playing it. It's fun enough that I think it's gonna keep me hooked. I love the art style.
Same.
It's like minor cell shaded. I don't even know how to describe it. You can tell that it is, but instead of like the big black lines are a little bit thinner, it provides a very unique look.
It does.
I think, and it's very clean.
It is very clean. I will say, it does look nice. It's not that unique though.
No.
You know what I mean? Like it does have a good visual style, but this is going to be a game I forget about. It's not. Yeah. It's not something that's captivating. It's not necessarily a timeless art style. It's kind of a It's a fun game to look at while you're playing it, but it's not memorable. That's kind of what I'll say about the visual style.
Oh yeah. I do like that the voice act. There's full voice acting.
Absolutely.
The whole thing, which is like I was not expecting.
I was not either. That is very cool that they did that. They used multiple voice actors multiple times to voice different characters, which is fine. I mean, you expect that with an indie game.
You can tell. Yeah.
And I beat this game. I rolled credits on it. It took me 9 hours. I think the game is around 10 to 12. I flew through it, and I will be honest, I flew through it because I got tired of it at a certain point. Personally, I think this is a very middling experience, and I don't want to say that in a bad way. That's just how I felt about the game. There's too many. It's a little too janky for me. I appreciate what they went for here with just a throwback to old platformers. I just by like the middle of the second biome, there's 3 biomes in the game you go through, so to speak, and then I was pretty much pooped on this game, but I will say that I like no life to this game to beat it because I wanted to have it to talk about. But yeah, I had fun with it. I don't think it's a game I would say you need to go out and purchase right this second. Of course, you are supporting a small dev, which is something I love to do, and I'm happy that I did. I'm happy I bought it to support the developer.
I was going to say that was part of the reason that you wanted to try this is to support them.
But this is not going to make my top 10 list at the end of the year. And I'm sure Jason and I will do top 10 lists at the end of the year, but they're not going to be top 10 of the current release year like a lot of platforms. We're going to do top 10 games we played this year, and that could be that could mean fucking anything. That could mean anything.
Yep,
so that'll be fun. This isn't going to make any of those lists for me. It was a fine experience. You run around, you collect bugs like you're seeing. I've got a cockroach here, and you can eat them for stamina bars. It gives you a whole nother stamina bar if you eat the bugs. But yeah, it's fine to me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a fine experience.
Yeah, it's a fine.
Yeah,
fine
I'm still pretty early, so I can't really give my honest opinion on it yet. I mean, I'm enjoying what I'm doing, but I'll keep plugging away at it. And
I will say, I think Jason's going to end up liking it more than me. He's a more optimistic fella. That's for sure. If you can tell by this show, he's having a lot more fun in the first area. I burned out in the first area bad. I think the second area is much better.
I'm getting there. Yeah.
Yeah. The second area, the second biome is much better. So if you like the first as much as you've told me in conversations, I think you'll really dig the second biome. What do you think of that green goop ball in the first biome?
The green goop ball.
The one that you have to shoot, it bounces, then you can jump to it. I fucking hate that.
Then you jump
ball.
To it.
Oh, I hate that ball so bad. I will tell you that's the worst. That's the worst one in the game.
Really?
So there is
you mentioned that to me before I had gotten to that point, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, and you're like, oh, you will. And
there's one platforming section in particular in the sewer where you got to use those balls, and you have to find a spot that's not going to ricochet it up into the sky or down into the ground. You got to find a spot where you can hit a flat surface, and then you're on this spinning drill type of thing. So you have to throw it so it hits a wall, bounces back, and is in the right position when the fucking thing goes back around, so that way you can hit it and go. That is the worst thing in the entire game, I promise you. So what I ended up doing, honestly, because like I said, I janked my way through this game. I would go to the plant, pick up as much as I could, load my backpack up, go to that spot, throw them all over the fucking place. And I just had like 40 of them flying all over the room until I could finally just combo a couple of them together to get across the platform.
Right.
I don't think that was intended, but I wasn't going to sit there and try to line up the perfect geometry to fucking get over there. But that is absolutely the worst ball in the game. Or fruit or whatever it is. They get
whatever you want to call it.
They get a lot easier after that. But that bummed me up.
Did you mention that your tongue is like your sort of grappling hook?
I did not mention
kind of like
that.
Spider-Man.
Yep.
That's how you kind of can swing around to reach different areas. There's these like floating ball things that have like a little propeller on the top of them, and you can jump, attach your tongue to that, and you literally swing, and you can get up to higher platforms that way. I thought that was kind of cool.
Very cool, very cool. And a thing to mention with that is you do like, if you are going to like tongue swing and jump, you have to really make sure your timing is right, because you cannot get enough speed. Like a lot of games, if you use that mechanic, it'll automatically give you enough momentum to clear the gap. In this game, you can straight up fuck it up and not.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. So.
And did you have any issues with like, if to try to straighten hop out? Like if I approached something at like a slightly goofy angle and I used the tongue to swing, like trying to make him stop to position him in the right place. I'm like,
worse. That gets worse.
Okay, I didn't care for that.
That gets worse at the end of the game.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so that becomes a massive mechanic. It's a great. I mean, little team. I love that. I'm always gonna be partial to that, and undoubtedly, I have a bias towards small devs because I would love to develop a game. I don't even know where to fucking start, but like people that go out of their way to make their dream project come to life, I can't shit on it. It's gonna get a indie boost from me. A lot of journalists will like kind of give indie games a little down tick. I'm the opposite. I usually bump them up a little higher.
Yeah. I usually give them a little bit more props.
Yeah, I have more leniency for a game like this. That being said, though, this is still like a 5 out of 10 game for me after I railed credits. That's kind of where I'm at with it. We'll have more from Jason as he progresses, but it's a fun little time.
I'll give my update.
I'm not going to recommend it personally. That's just me. We'll wait for Jason to talk about it. I recommend it if you want to support a little guy, a little dev, which I'm all about, but gameplay wise, it wasn't for me. I'm not really a guy that likes collectathons most times anyway. I usually do get burnt out and tired of them. So I kind of knew that going in, that it was going to be one of those things. And the game kind of drags its feet pacing wise a little bit more than I would like. but you set your own pace in these games, so that I'm kind of to blame for that, to be honest. But it was cool.
Well, but at least you were able to kind of speed through it and play it your own way.
Yeah.
So,
I just suck at this. I suck at this. I think I'm so I don't want to come across as negative, and I always do. I feel like I apologize.
No, it's just your personal opinion.
Yeah. So, anyways, cool. Interesting game. We'll have more on this one.
Sure.
Maybe next week if Jason gets some more time to dive into it. But he's got a backlog. He's got to get 2X played. He's got to get Big Hops continued. He's got to play Clair Obscura this year.
Yeah. I'll get there.
Yeah.
1 week later.
We mentioned last week you covered Big Hops and 2X KO.
Correct.
Those were 2 years last week.
Yep.
Yeah. So I kept moving on in a Big Hops, and not a huge surprise. I did enjoy it more than Cameron did. Not like it's like the best game I've ever played. I'm kind of surprised on the small indie team that made this pretty decent game.
Yeah.
I did a chance to finish it, but I know that I'm close, and I know that you mentioned you wanted to talk about like the ending. Like you might have a different ending depending on whether you finalize the airship or you get all these dark drips or whatever. I haven't gotten there yet, but I will. I'm so close. But a couple other things came out that I've been kind of checking out that I'm going to talk about next week.
Okay.
So
hold on before we move on.
Yeah,
are you still going on Big Hops or no? Keep going on Big Hops.
Yeah,
don't move on until I have a follow-up question on Big Hops. So go ahead.
I'll let you know when I'm moving on. So it may be a little bit I don't want to say bloated, but like it kind of does feel like it's getting to that point where they're just like kind of adding stuff on. Like it's a pretty meaty game, more than it probably needs to be. It's just like every little area that you get to, you're like, this has got to be like the end of this biome or whatever, and then there's more, and then it's just like, I mean, some people will love that. I do think it's kind of cool that they didn't just make this short, tiny little experience and ship it out the door. There's more to this than I thought there were. There's some annoying things. You had mentioned those green balls that you have to throw and bounce. Okay, you said those were your most hated?
Big time. By a mile.
Fucking balloons. I think the balloons are worse.
Balloons ain't nothing, bro. Oh my god.
I barely use them. Maybe I'm not using them right, but like they don't stick where you want them to. You can't. What are you supposed to do? Throw them at something and then climb up onto them? Is that the point of those?
I'm trying to think here because
I
you're right at the end of biome 2, right?
I'm in 3, aren't I? The underwater, or is that still 2?
That's 2.
Dude, how long is this? How did you finish this in 9 hours?
I already told you. I hit what you were saying where it was feeling a little bloaty, and I said, fuck it, and I booked. I told you that's what I did.
I know you did, but goddamn, I still think if, well, I mean, maybe I might only be at like 10 or so, but I can't believe I still have a whole another one left. I think that last one I'm just gonna book it through because there's too many other things to play. But anyway, just wanted to
I can't remember the balloon mechanic much. Are you have you done the challenge stages? Like, have you done a lot of those, like portals that Dis has around?
Honestly, I've done almost all of them.
Okay.
And I think what made me hate the balloon one is when I got to the one where the mechanic of that challenge was the balloon. I said, fuck it. I couldn't get past the first obstacle where you have to like throw the balloon things and get another one up. And then I'm guessing you jump from one to one to reach the platform, but they also pop after so long.
Mm-hmm.
So
you got to load your backpack.
And it almost seems like I do, but once you have more than 2 of them thrown, so if you throw a third one, that first one that you threw, like it's not very long before that thing pops. It's like the game only wants you to have so many on screen. And maybe I'm just not playing it right. I don't know, but I hate those things.
I did not have a problem with the balloon, but I also didn't do any of the challenge stages. I skipped all of them. So,
well, if it's not for those, I know. Outside of the challenge things, the balloons are fine. I basically just found ways to skip using them.
Same.
Some of them I had to, like, you have to, it's the only way you can reach certain objects, but I barely use those things, and I hope that they don't come up much in the third biome, because I hate them. But like you said, with the green things that bounce around, I did what you did. I just chucked those things all over the place and got lucky and whipped my way up to the top. So
I will tell you that the fruit stays locked in the biome it's locked in. So you will not have those in the third biome.
Good.
So here's the thing with, I'm just going to tell you, if you're not going to go for complete 100%, we're going to get the same ending. So I'll look it up, I guess, and see if there's a different ending.
All right.
Yeah, I don't want you to suffer through it, but it's not like it's suffering. The game is fine in my opinion. As I said last week, I think it's very middle of the road, but it gets an indie game boost for me because it was made by a very small, one guy, I think, with a lot of outsourced help. So very cool.
Yeah, I think it was his idea, and then he got some help to finish it. So
yeah. Anyways, cool. What else you got to talk? I don't think I have anything else. Actually.
Oh, and then
1 week later.
Well, actually, Jason, you know what? Did you end up rolling credits on Big Hops?
I knew you were going to ask that. Not yet.
Okay.
I'm at the very end, and I'm going to finish it. I was playing it for a couple hours yesterday morning, and it's getting to where it's getting hard to put more time into it.
Dude,
I want it to be done.
I got there. Here,
and
we're going into spoilers for just a second, guys. So if you don't want to hear this, totally understandable. We're just going to dive into it. I like when podcasters talk spoilers. I'm biased in that way.
Yeah.
I know I don't want to ruin it for you guys, but it's fucking Big Hops. It's not like it's the number one game of the year or anything. So we're going to go into it. Where are you exactly right now? I know that we talked about Big Hops yesterday. You were in the kind of the void area, kind of like the final spot. Did you end up doing anything with the castle and interacting with that yet, or where are you at particular?
I don't know, because I think I'm about right there. So like in between biomes, you kind of go back to like void area, and it's a little platforming area, and then you talk to this disc guy who's like sending you out on all these errands to collect these dark drips or whatever. So I got through that, and then I got to the very last biome, which was like the Shattered Mountain or something.
Yep.
So I've been running around in there for a little while, and you got to do a couple things for a couple different NPCs. And now I'm to where I have to collect teeth to put into some dragon's mouth to open. So I think, so, and they're all really, god damn, dude.
You're. I don't know if I want to. I'm not going to go any further. There's another whole segment after the Shattered Mountain. So there's three biomes, but like I thought when I got through the third biome, I was like, oh, the game's over. Keeps going. There's a. I'm not going to spoil it. But
okay. Well, I looked at my play clock, and it was at 11 and a half hours.
They said it's 10 to 15. So you're in the ballpark.
All right. God, it's which is kind of impressive, I guess, for like, this small team and this small idea of a frog getting taken away from his home and stuff. But dude, there's a lot of game here.
It's almost too bloated. It's almost too bloated. It's too much. Yeah, it's almost bloated.
There's almost too much game. And I'm just the type of game that it is, you feel like it should be shorter. So every time you turn around, you think I got to be getting close to the end, which I'm close, but it sounds like I still got a bit more to do.
So you're going to get done with, I just want you to be prepared because this pissed me off when I got there. So you do the Shattered Mountain, and then there's like another, it changes the, fuck it, not going to say anything about it. You'll have it done by this week if you put in, you're going to be trending probably more towards the 15-hour mark.
Oh my God.
Here,
okay. I'm going to do it. I put this much time into it already. I'm going to finish it.
Just fucking power through at this point. Just get That's done.
What I've been trying to do.
Yeah, just fucking, don't even like go off the beaten path. You don't even need to. I'm just saying, I don't think there's any value. If you don't do everything, if you don't 100% complete it, which sounds like you've already given up on that, just fucking go. You're not going to miss anything. Just fucking beeline to the end of the game. Because
all right. That's what I've been doing. Like I gave up on so the dark drips are like the big kind of thing that you're supposed to be collecting, but there's also all these smaller ones. And after you collect so many of those, you can turn them into a dark drip.
Yeah.
For a while, I was kind of like, and the game makes this little kind of noise when you're close to one of those small things.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to as I was running through something, if I heard that noise, I kind of look around to see where one is. Dude, that noise doesn't even do anything to me. I just keep going.
Here's the other thing with this. Do you care if I give you just a little piece that's going to go into the next segment?
I really don't care.
It's probably going to piss you off.
No,
all that hard work that you did to get your badges and shit has no impact on the end of the game. The last segment.
Awesome.
So don't even bother collecting anymore. You're not going to need them. You're not going to use them.
I gave up on those too. So.
Yeah. So, anyways, Big Hops will continue. Maybe next episode if Jason finally rolls credits. It's going to be very short. Yeah. I mean, the more we talk about it, the more it's like, God damn, that game is bloated. But I fucking chugged. I fucking through that fucking thing somehow. So, anyways, that's fine. But
have you mentioned Big Hops since the first episode, or was that the second one where we talked about the?
No, Big Hops was on our first episode. We discussed it. January release. It's probably made an appearance in every episode of the show.
Of all games,
that
is not the one I thought it would be.
All the advertising for that game on this show, man. We deserve a little cut. That's all right.
I know we do. Jesus.
1 week later.
But I did want to mention that I did it.
Oh boy.
I beat Big Hops.
Oh boy. It's a sad day, man. This is a sad day. Man. Yeah.
This is episode 6, and we talked about Big Hop since episode 1. It's freaking nuts. I've told you multiple times. I was like, of all the games that I thought we would not be talking about still.
I'm gonna make a dedicated video for Big Hops on the YouTube channel where I'm gonna cut out every segment where we talked about it for the first 6 episodes, just in memoriam of Big Hops. Before we go into this conversation, spoilers ahead for Big Hops. By the way, we're gonna conclude this conversation right now.
Yes,
so
it needs to be done.
If you don't want spoilers for this game, feel free to skip ahead in the timestamps, but you're not missing a whole lot even if you stick around. I will just be honest. But either way, Jason, what'd you think of the end of the game after you finally got her done?
Well, I was a little torn. One, I was just kind of glad to have it wrapped up, and two, the ending, that wasn't all that memorable or special. You had mentioned you were trying not to split for me, and you were like, "Hey, man, you don't really need to worry about those badges and all that stuff because it kind of doesn't matter." And it really freaking doesn't.
No, not at all.
We've talked about this so many times, but like this otherworldly creature that's basically has kidnapped you. You finally do all his freaking errands and all this shit that he wants you to do, and you finally go to the very last. I don't even know. It's in the void area, so it's not really one of the biomes. I mean, it kind of is its own biome, but it's different than the rest of them. Yeah. So you finally go back to this last void biome, I guess you call it, and you are then tasked again with going back into the 3 main biomes that you had already completed and collecting. What are they? Light?
Yeah, they're like light drips, I think. Yeah, I think you're right.
Light drips. So you spend the whole game going and collecting these dark drips. And before I go too far, I don't really know if I understand what's happening at the end or if I just really didn't care at that point. I didn't know what these light drip. I didn't really know what I was doing by the end. I was kind of in that point where I'm like, I just want to get this game done. I just want to roll credits on this thing. So anyway, these portals open up. And you see the 3 images of the 3 main biomes that you've already spent too much time in.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that and I'm like, dude, I'm not going through these levels again. And I jumped into the first one, and you don't really have to. You only spend a few minutes, 5 minutes in each one collecting these light drips, and you jump back out. So basically you jump back into each one of the 3 biomes for 5-10 minutes most, and then yeah, I think I shut my brain off because
yeah,
I did all that,
mm-hmm.
and then it's kind of over. Like you,
yeah. So
I don't even remember what.
I mean, that's saying something because I kind of feel the same way. But if I look back on it, it's trying to tell a story of friendship. It seems like Dis is very lonely, so he basically kidnapped Hop at the end of the game as kind of a way to build a friendship or something along those lines. It was very, very.
But Hop turns into like a form of Dis.
Yeah, he does.
Like this.
The last
it's weird.
When you mentioned you got to this section where you saw the biomes, my heart sank. I was like, you got to be fucking with me. Yeah, I'm like, there's no. If I have to go back through all this again, I'm just done with this game. This game's far too long. But yeah, you go in there and you're basically super Hop, and you can fly, and you pick up the light drips, and the light drips are extra jumps. So it's like this weird path that you have to take through each biome. It's kind of like
well, the light drips themselves aren't the extra jumps. You get these other things that have never been in the game.
Yeah, that's right.
This whole time, and you collect these. They almost look like jacks, like the old ball game with jacks. They kind of look like that, and they're floating. And you can jump, and as soon as you get one, you get an extra jump, and you can end up building a whole trail of these things behind you. And each one of them is another jump. And then every time you do a double, triple, quad jump, whatever, it uses one of those. So eventually they run out, but they're scattered all over and you can keep using them. So I kind of was like, man, why aren't these in the... And then you use those to collect these light drips.
Yeah.
So, yep.
This game definitely would have been much better if it was a little bit more condensed. I think that me and you both agree this game was just too bloated. It just wasn't
a lot.
It just wasn't really unique enough in the 3 biomes on offer here that it needed to be that in depth, and I don't think it needed to be 15 hours long. It had no reason to be. It would have been a much better experience for me if it was in the kind of 8 to 10 range as opposed to the 10 to 15 range, just because, like we mentioned, we both got to that point where the developer clearly wanted you to get to that point, and you see the biomes pop on the mountain or in the void, and you're like, oh, yay, more. But for us, it was like, oh, fuck, more, No. So I think that's the wrong, that just indicates to me maybe some pacing issues with the game. But all in all, I think it was very charming. I do think the game was definitely serviceable. I know you don't like ratings, but do your best for me. Give me a out of 10.
I still thought it was good, and I think of good as somewhere around the 7. I was kind of torn between like a 6.5 to a 7. Somewhere in there. Probably more on the 6.5. I don't know. Somewhere in that range.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably go up to a 6. I still think it's just an average game, but it is charming. I think the art style is nice. I think the game plays well, even though you're just janking your way through it. So it's not just average. It does have some nice qualities, but ultimately that score is getting reduced just because of the bloat there. Did you do like any of the race events?
Race events?
Oh, no, you didn't do those. I only did one in the desert, the first biome, where you have to you have to collect all these little... You have to go through all these gates.
God, I forgot about those. Yes, I did a couple of them.
I just did the first one.
I wasn't that...
Mechanics aren't really...
that interested.
No, me either. Anyways.
No, the game doesn't... It's almost not designed to do that kind of thing. It was fine, but...
Yeah, just a little side activity.
Need that. And then just to top it off, the ending... It was kind of anticlimactic, I would say. Yeah. I mean, you do end up going back to your home village or whatever, the forest.
Yep.
Where you were initially kidnapped from, and then your sister and your mom were like, "Oh, hey, how you been?" And I'm like, "Dude, how long is this freaking frog gone for?"
Felt like fucking 30 months for me,
dude, for a long freaking time. So yeah, I don't know. And then it just kind of ended, and then it was kind of fun during the credit scene.
Oh, yeah.
The credits are scrolling. You can use your tongue to knock all the people's names and stuff out. I don't know if it didn't do anything, but I went through it just to see if there was something else at the very end, and there wasn't. So
nope, it was just a little fun thing to do. But yeah, that's Big Hops, man. It's the first
conversation over.
Yeah. I won't hear about it ever again on this show. Well, yeah, I don't think this is making my top 10 at the end of the year. I will say that.
No.
So probably the last time you hear Big Hops, but still, it's a momentous saga for the Spawn Point podcast because it was
Spawn Point podcast.
It's been on the first 6 episodes. We've had some conversation on it, but I'm glad you got through it.
Crazy.
Thanks for suffering through it. Not really, kind of, sort of. I mean, it is kind of a suffer towards the end. Let's be real.
Towards the end, yeah. It was.
But yeah, Big Hops, fun one. Glad we got that one out of the way.